I know I've been saying like, oh, no flowers, no flowers. Well, I think I might have found a little tiny head forming finally. That's one of them. Hello, howdy, and welcome to another plant update. I'm Catherine and I'm the Aerogarden homesteader. These are the bunching onions with the one random leek, which I actually think this leek is doing amazing. I mean, it's going to be maxing out the net basket soon, so I could probably harvest that and use it as a leek. I might try to do the same thing I've been doing with the onions, where I just do the cut and come again and see how they do. The one back here, I don't know why this one kind of looks like it just upped and died. Huh. This one does not appear... Oh, this one looks like it upped and died too. That's interesting. I've not had that happen before. Must be something going on back there. Okay, well, these ones are doing pretty good. These new ones that I moved over from they were in with the cumin. This is the cabbage. Cabbage is doing awesome. It's like it's forming a little head. One back there is also doing well. It's a little harder to see because it's way back there. Again, I still have this one random leaf that I need to deal with. There's actually a couple back here as well that are kind of getting big. And then the green beans. Actually not green, they're purple. But we'll call them bush beans. The bush beans are doing great. Got a lot more little ones coming in. Here's another little one. Oddly enough, this one has started out green. I think it'll change soon. The leaves are showing a little bit of signs of stress or something. I don't know if they're not getting enough nutrients or what, but I might need to up their nutrient intake. You can especially see it down here where the leaves are kind of yellowing a lot more and dying back. So I don't know if this is kind of a normal thing because my ones outside do that. But we'll see. We'll see how it does. There are lots of beans in here, so I really should just go through and do a big harvest because there's lots of things that are ready to go and make a big salad and show you guys. Because I think I'm ready for salad. I've got lettuce. So this is the most recent lettuce that I planted. Everything is doing well. So that's good. And then these ones went in just about the same time as well. So they're also doing pretty good. This is the last set of peppers I did. I think this was the Joe Parker pepper. Don't remember what this one was. Oh, that might be the mini bell in the back. This might be the Joe Parker pepper in the front here. And then this is a little cherry tomato. I do think I need to put a trellis on this, although I don't know if I have one, just to help contain it a little bit, but we'll see. This is the update for the peas, the sugar snap, snow pea. They appear to be dying back a little bit more. So I don't know if you remember last week I mentioned that some of the leaves down here were going brown. But now it seems to be a little hard with the light. It seems to be traveling further up, and it does keep putting out new growth. See, it still keeps trying to grow up, and it is putting out new flowers. So I get a flower right here, but it does seem like maybe it's on its last legs. So I guess we'll see. These strawberry plants are looking pretty good, except for the one on the bottom left. Although, it does look like it might be putting out some roots, so I don't know if the crown is just not dead, but the leaves are. I guess we'll see. The other hard part is trying to figure out if any pests came in with them. So definitely don't want to have... I brought in some spider mites one time. Definitely don't want to do that again. The cumin is definitely looking sadder and sadder by the week. The lower... not really branches, but the lower sections are starting to die back a little bit. There's more areas that seem brown and wilted. And I have actually started collecting a couple of seeds. So every time I kind of go through and I see a section where there are some seeds, it's really hard to show on camera, but see right there, there's some that are drying out and they might be ready to harvest. So I try to pick them when I can, but I don't always think about it. But that's the cumin. It's pretty much harvesting now. The lettuce is doing phenomenally well. So I'll have to put everything I did together and see on this next batch what worked and what didn't. So these ones did not get fed until they were a little older. And as you can see, there's a little bit of browning on the tips, but it's not. Like looking underneath, there's no significant brown leaves and all that like some of the other ones had. So this one's doing really well. These ones I did feed. They got like quarter feeds, but a lot of skip days. You can see there's a little bit more on the browning, but they actually are doing really well compared to another set which got fed a little bit more. And I don't know if this adding in the spinach helped or not, but this spinach is doing really well. The spinach here is doing really well. They have not bolted yet, but that doesn't mean they won't. It is pretty warm in this room with all these Aerogardens. This is the kale. It is doing really well. Might need to put the hood up a little bit more. But yeah, no, it's doing really well. I should be harvesting some of this. And then this is the other, this is another lettuce. It's doing really well. They seem to do, this one's doing really well in a little sprout, so that is an option if you want to just have a couple of little, you know, leaves here and there. These are the sad tomatoes. They're not looking so sad anymore. I mean, they did put out, here, let me open the port and show you. This is just like filled with roots now. So they did a really good job rooting themselves again. There's no sponge in the basket. I just stuck them directly in there. I mean, they had really big thick roots, so they had really big thick stems. So I think part of that helped. But they put out roots. They're putting out little flowers here. New growth. So if you're having trouble with your tomato plants, that's definitely an option. These are the mini jalapenos. And if you can see, I got a little flower starting finally. So that's cool. This was the odd looking one. I had growth issues at the beginning, and I mean, it's doing pretty good. You can barely tell. This one's doing really well. I'm waiting for the top to split. I don't know if it will or not. So I hate pinching the tops because I feel like it never works for me. I feel like, oh, I just get leaves that are broken in half, but I just hope it'll just do it on its own. This is the Roma. I believe it's a Roma and an Amish paste in here. Not 100% sure, but I will have to go back and check. I do have the flowers. I try to go through and sort of hit the flowers a little bit just to help them pollinate. Got some down here. So I don't think the... Okay, here we go. So the Amish paste has put out flowers, but it hasn't opened yet. I believe this was the Amish paste. I believe the other one is the Roma. So, but I will have to double check. And it is just like bleeding. Both of them are bleeding into each other. This is the pepper plant that got that major pruning. Might need another prune. I mean, it's just insane. Just how... I think it might be 2 pepper plants per Aerogarden. Might be the better way to go. You can see that. I got some peppers in there. That is so cool. I'll have to double check to see what kind they are because I wouldn't want to put a hot pepper in a salad. So, and it's just like, oh, it's insane under here. This is the broccoli. And I know I've been saying like, oh, no flowers, no flowers. Well, I think I might have found little tiny head forming finally. That's one of them. Let me see. I don't know if any of the other ones. Oh my goodness, this was hiding on me. Can you see that? Oh my goodness, that's so big. It's getting big. I don't know. No, I don't think the last one's got one. It's pretty cool. The celery. Oh my goodness. Celery is a water hog. Look at the size of these. They are just insane. I have not been harvesting any recently. I have been kind of coming through and pulling off some of the yellow ones just off the bottom. But other than that, I haven't been doing much maintenance. I'm still kind of getting... So the brown leaves are... Some of them still have it, but I think... See, the new growth doesn't. So whatever the issue was, maybe it resolved? Maybe it was a nutrient issue? But, like, that was pretty bad at one point. So... Maybe I skipped a feeding by accident. I don't know. The cucumbers are doing really well. That big one, I don't know if you can see it, it's still back there. It's still getting bigger. Oops, just dropped some flowers. I got another one here. So this one is looking pretty good. Try to see if I can get it all in the whole shot. No, maybe, not quite. They're still like, this is a really bushy, they're not joking when they say it's a Spacemaster. It's bushy, it's bushy. So, I got another little one here that's just starting to go. This is the other celery. It is a little bit further behind, but it's putting out some nice growth. They're getting bigger. They're looking nice. These are the leeks. Leeks look like they're doing pretty good. I get a couple of leaves on the bottom that kind of just die back a little bit. It's not a problem. I just pull them off and garbage them. That's part of the maintenance that I do. But yeah, no, they're looking great. Let's go up here. We got the dill. Dill is hitting the hood. I think the hood is up as high as it'll go, so some of the leaves kind of turning a little yellow. I should probably just try to do a big harvest on this and dry it back so I got it for later. The cumin is just starting to put out some flowers. There's some there, some down here. The cumin seems to have done better in a harvest than it did in that sprout, and I don't know, like, it's not flopping over like it did in the sprout. So I don't know if that's just different growing conditions or if it's just doing better in a sprout. Not 100% sure. But if you want to do cumin, I feel like the harvest, they just did a little bit better. I don't know if it's because they had more space or what, but yeah. And then back here, basil is doing okay. I feel like I might need to pinch it back to encourage some more growth. Probably also just need to get rid of this parsley because I don't need it. Until I can get a good food processor, I can't even make falafels. And the other kale, this is doing really well. It is getting bigger. Probably need to put the hood up, honestly, because it is starting to hit the top there. Yeah, no, it's looking really good. So there were 4 in this one, and yeah, no, so I think 4 is fine. I don't know that I would let them get massive like they do outside, but you know, as long as you kind of keep it in check, seems like it's doing well. The mustard greens with the bonus bok choy. I have not been harvesting these, and they're supposed to be heavy feeders. I don't know that they're getting enough food. So the leaves are turning yellow. I have not had a good use for them because I haven't been making salads yet. It's kind of in soup season. I probably should just find a soup that I can put this in, but yeah, some of them are getting a little yellow on the bottom leaves. So, and well, this spinach bolted. The problem with the spinach is, and I'm going to see if I can show you this. Can you see? They drop pollen everywhere. It's just insane. So I got to be really careful to not touch this flower bunch, because it just like pollen just goes boof. So if you're kind of sensitive to pollen, yeah, you might want to be pinching those off. But see, this is one of the lettuce groups where I had been feeding it a little more heavily. You can see that a lot of the bottom leaves have that browning going on, but the new leaves inside, they look really good. So I don't know if, again, this goes back to, was it adding more food that helped it, or was it putting in the spinach? Or was it not feeding them right away before giving them food? So that's what I got to figure out. This is the bok choy. Again, heavy feeder, no harvesting. So I am getting some yellowing on the leaves. It's ready to harvest. I just need to find a use for it. I've been so busy doing other things that I haven't even been able to come down here and, like, I do basic maintenance, I top off waters, and that's almost it. But you can see that I've got lots of lettuce ready, so I should be able to start coming down and doing salads and using some of this stuff up. These grow weird. And this spinach also bolted, even though it's like absolutely tiny. Look at all the pollen in there. Holy crap. So these, they're not growing how I expected a romaine to grow. They're weird. Let me know if you've grown romaine before and if this is what it does. Because it's almost like, see, all these bottom leaves are really tiny. I expected them to get bigger. And then they're growing almost like it's trying to bolt. So other lettuce does this where the inner leaves will just start growing higher and higher and higher. And then it'll put out like a flower and bolt. So, yeah, not sure if that's what it's supposed to do, but no, everything is looking really good. I'm really happy with it. I can start harvesting lettuce and doing salads, and of course we're in soup and stew season, so you know, I'll just have to go with it. But this was the goal, so it worked. Well, I hope you enjoyed this update. I had fun watching all of these plants grow. I will keep doing these updates, and I will take you along when I harvest for salad, because I mean, it's going to be a really nice harvest. I've got the green, well, the purple beans. I might even have a pepper. I don't think I'll have broccoli yet, but I've got celery and onions and, like, I mean, dill. I can put dill in there. Like, it's just so much. It's amazing. Well, if you didn't check out my last video, I'll have that posted here. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're new here, welcome. If you liked what you saw, hit the subscribe button. Or check out another video and see if you like what I do. And I will see you next time on the Aerogarden Homestead.